survived Pearl Harbor, but that was only the beginning, for he would survive yet another tragedy in American history. Former Dallas detective Jim Leavelle was handcuffed to Lee Harvey Oswald when the accused assassin was shot on national television. Tonight, CBS 11's Jay Gormley concludes his series on North Texans impacted by the death of JFK, now 45 years later.
Everyone knows him as the man in the white suit and white hat.
It's hard to believe that anybody's still interested in it at 45 years. Had you asked me 6 months after the incident happened, I would have told you to give it another 2 or 3 months and nobody would ever mention it again.
But Jim Leavelle's 15 minutes of fame will live on forever, all because of one prisoner that he escorted through the basement of the old Dallas police building.
He has been shot. Oswald has been shot.
But let's go back 2 days prior when Leavelle, a Dallas homicide detective, responded to the assassination of JFK. The killer was still on the loose as Detective Leavelle gathered witness statements in Dealey Plaza. Right about then, a call came in that police officer J.D. Tippett had been shot.
I said, who you got covering that officer shooting? He said, I don't have anybody. So I said, well, I'll take it.
Leavelle made it to Oak Cliff where Tippett had been murdered. And just blocks away, the man who fired the shots was being arrested at the Texas Theater. Which brings us back to that Sunday, 2 days later.
He has been shot. Oswald has been shot.
Just prior to handcuffing Lee Harvey Oswald and making that fateful walk through the basement, there was a moment of levity between the two.
When we started down, I told him, I said, Lee, if anybody shoots at you, I hope they're as good a shot as you are. Meaning, of course, that they'd hit him and not me. And he kind of laughed, and it's the only time that he smiled and during the entire time he was in custody. And he said, well, nobody's going to shoot at me.
But levity became reality when Jack Ruby lunged at Oswald.
Well, he took 2 short steps and doubled action at 38 into the Oswald's side. It hit him right about here, about 4 inches to the left of the navel.
As fate would have it, Leavelle once again found himself escorting a famous prisoner. This time it was Jack Ruby, and the conversation was far more serious.
When I asked him why, he said, I just wanted to be a hero. And he said, looked like I just screwed things up good. And I said, well, you can say that again.
The key figure who held all the answers died along the man in the white suit and the white hat. There are facts we may never uncover, but one thing we do know. Detective Leavelle's suit hangs in the 6th floor museum in Dallas. And by the way, it's tan. Jay Gormley, CBS 11 News.
By the way, retired detective Jim Leavelle is going to talk about his investigation into the death of JFK. That'll take place tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock at the 6th floor museum. And if you miss any of our reports on this, the 45th anniversary of the Kennedy assassination, you'll find a compilation of all of them at CBS11TV.com.